Hello, everyone. I'm really excited to be here with all of you today. My name is Asha Rani, and I work as a Senior Manager Customer Success at AlgoLeap. I also partner closely with HR initiatives, and most importantly, I'm a mother myself. Over the years, I have had the opportunity to work closely with people, teams, and organizations through various transitions, be it growth, change, or personal milestones like starting a family. And as someone who's also building a career while raising a family, I truly understand how challenging and fulfilling that balance act can be. Today's session, How to Build Work and Family Building Like a Pro, is close to my heart. It is not just about tips and tricks, it's about real life strategies, setting expectations, and learning how to thrive both professionally and personally in today's demanding world. So let's dive in, share our experiences, and explore some practical ways to make this journey more manageable and meaningful for all of us. Let me start with something I've felt very deeply, and maybe some of you have too, the pressure of to do it all. As a working professional and someone who's also building a family, there have been moments where I felt like I was constantly switching hats: leader at work, mother at home, planner, problem solver, emotional anchor, all rolled into one. There's this silent expectation from us, right? That we should be nailing our career goals and be showing up perfectly for our families, be fully present at work, be fully present at home. It sounds inspiring, but in reality, it's exhausting. And then we hear things like, you can do it all, you can have it all, just balance it better. It's all about time management. But I've learned balance isn't splitting time equally every day. It's about choosing what matters most in that moment. Some day work takes over, other days my child needs me more. And honestly, that's okay. It's not easy, and I don't think so. We talk about this enough. What I've come to understand is doing it all doesn't mean doing it all at once. It means doing what's needed, giving it your best, learning to forgive yourself for the rest. So, before we dive deeper into today's session, I want to ask you, what kind of pressure do you feel when you think about work and family? For me, the pressure has been real, but over time, I found comfort in knowing that I'm not alone, that balance is something that we define for ourselves, not something needs to be measured by everyone else. You know, being in HR for many years and now in customer success role, I have often heard people say you just need better work-life balance. And every time I hear this, I can't help but smile a little. Because honestly, as a working mother, balance feels like the wrong word. The idea of perfect 50-50 divide, half of me at work and half of me at home, is perfectly disturbed every day. That just doesn't happen. So life isn't a pie chart. It's not. It's more like a constant shifting calendar filled with real needs, real people, and real emotions. Some weeks work takes more. Maybe a major project is closing or your team needs support, and I give it all. Other weeks it's home that takes priority. Sick days, school events, or just moments when I know my child needs me more than my inbox does. And the truth is, it took me time to be okay with that. Instead of chasing balance, I started focusing on integration. For me, it's about adjusting, realigning, and being intentional with where I place my energy. One quote I have come to love says, balance is not better time management, but better boundary management. And this hits home. It's not about doing everything every day. It's about protecting space for what matters that day, whether it's a strategy goal or showing up for bedtime stories. So, if balance doesn't feel like it fits your life, you're not alone. Maybe it's time we stop trying to divide ourselves perfectly and start finding smarter ways to be whole. One of the biggest shifts for me, personally and professionally, was moving away from a work-life balance mindset to a work-life integration mindset. And what changed everything for me was this simple idea. It's not about perfection. It's about presence. When I'm in one-to-one with my team member or solving a challenge at work, I try to be fully there, not half worried about dinner at home. And when I'm with my family, especially with my child, I've learned to put phone aside and just be present in that moment because those little moments matter just as much. It's helped me to see that work and life are not two separate buckets. They are interconnected, they influence each other, and they flow into each other. And that's not a bad thing. Some days your work will demand more of you, a deadline, crisis, a transition. That's okay. Other days your home life will need you more, and that's okay too. The key is to stay in tune with your priorities as they shift, not to chase this unrealistic idea of giving equal time every day, but to be intentional with your time and energy that you have. And here's something I remind myself often: it's not about doing everything right, it's about showing up wherever you're needed, fully and honestly. So, whether it's in the middle of a big project or pausing to help with homework, it's the presence that makes the difference. Let's stop striving for perfection and start embracing the beautiful reality of integration. Let me share a simple framework that really helped me. And one I believe more of us need to start using in real life. It's what I call the flex flow model. It's not complicated, but it is powerful. The first part is flexibility. One thing I've learned the hard way is that plans will change. Whether it's a last minute client call or child's school emergency, you will need to adjust. And here's the important part: do it without guilt. Second is flow. This simply means whatever role you're playing at the moment, be fully present. If I'm in one-to-one with my team member, I give it my full attention. If I'm helping my child with the school project in the evening, I try not to think of tomorrow's backlog. The flow state helps me reduce stress and feel more fulfilled in both roles. And finally, recovery. This one often gets missed, especially by working parents. Sometimes one area, whether it's work or home, takes a lot more than usual. Maybe it's year-end review or a sick family member or just back-to-back meetings. When that happens, you need a built-in time to recharge. Even if it's just 30 minutes of quiet time, a walk, an early night, it helps reset our energy. So think of it like this: be flexible with your plans, stay in flow with your present when you're present, and recover when the scales tip too far. This model isn't about controlling everything, it's about responding with intention, and that it can make all the difference. One thing I have noticed, both as an HR professional and as someone who's been through the family building journey, is that many people don't always know what to ask and how to ask when they are entering this phase of life. So sometimes we wait too long, or we feel like we need to keep things quiet until, something official to share. But the truth is, the earlier you start the conversation, the better prepared you'll be for yourself, your career, and your team. So if you're planning a family or even thinking ahead, here's are a few things that you should feel completely okay to ask HR. What support does a company offer if I'm planning to start a family soon? Maternity, paternity, adoption, otherwise. How does parental leave work? Are there any flexibility options for transitioning back to work afterwards? Are there any resources around fertility, health benefits, and mental well-being that I can access? Are there people I can speak to who's navigated this journey before? Maybe someone who came back from leave or balanced work during early parenthood. These questions don't just help you plan, they also open up dialogue. And from an HR perspective, we want to hear that dialogue. We want to have that dialogue. We want to make sure you don't feel like you have to choose between your career and your family. So my message here is simple: don't wait, don't hesitate, ask. Because when you're informed, supported, and confident, you'll make better choices. You'll feel less alone in the process. And that's why what we want for every employee, especially during one of the most personal and important transition of their life. We have been talking about how important it is to feel supported through the journey of family building. And that support really shows up through system, not just kind words. Now, here's the thing every workplace is different, and not all support systems are clearly visible. That's why it is important to ask the right questions and understand what's available to you. Don't wait until the last minute or assume something isn't possible. Start by asking, is there flexibility in work hours or remote options if I need to adjust my family needs? What kind of parental leave is offered, and is it inclusive of all parents or not just maternity? Is there a structured way to come back after leave, reboarding, phased return, or any support during this transition? Are there any mental health or caregiver support resource available if I am feeling overwhelmed? As someone who's worked in HR and gone through this personally, I can tell you asking early makes a difference. It gives you clarity, it helps you plan, and it also signals to your organization that this kind of support truly matters to people. Many companies are evolving. They want to retain great talent, especially working parents. But often these systems aren't well communicated until someone reaches out. So don't hesitate. Inquire, start the conversation, because the more you understand what's available, the more confident and prepared you'll feel navigating both work and family life. Coming back to work after having a baby or taking time off for family isn't a calendar event. It's an emotional journey. You are not just re entering a role, you are realigning who you are. And that's something we don't talk about enough. There's a real shift in identity. For weeks and months, you have been in full-time caregiving mode, constantly on calls, emotionally invested, running around on little sleep and lots of instinct. And then suddenly you're expected to step back into your work role, switch gears and operate like you never left. And let's be honest, it's not easy. Even with all the experience and capabilities, there's often a confidence dip. You start questioning yourself. Can I still do it at the same level? Am I behind? Will the team see me differently now? Then there's the team dynamic. Relationships at work evolve, projects move, new people come in, work flows change. Reintegrating into the team takes emotional effort too, especially when you're trying to find your rhythm again. If you're returning after a break, give yourself grace. You're not starting from scratch. You are starting from experience, just with a new perspective. And if you're managing or working with someone who's transitioning or returning, make space for emotional side of this transition. It means more than you think. One of the biggest mindset shifts I have had, both as a professional and as a parent, is around what success really means. We grow up with these external markers, promotions, job titles, salary jumps, public recognition. And yes, those things matter. They give you direction, they can be very motivating. But somehow along the way, especially after becoming a parent, I realized that success had to feel personal. For me, success started looking like, did I handle a tough day at work and still have energy to be home with my child? Did I have one meaningful moment with my team and one meaningful moment at home? And that's when I started feeling more aligned. It's not just being busy or productive, it's but intentionally doing it. It's okay if your version of success doesn't look like anyone else's. It could be about balance, stability, growth, learning, and simply peace of mind. So take a moment and ask yourself not what success should look like, but what does a successful month feel like for me across work and family? And be honest, it could be hitting a project goal, taking a weekend off without guilt, having dinner with your family 5 days a week, or just making space for yourself. That's the kind of success worth aiming for, and the one that reflects your values, not just world's expectations. Want to wrap up with a few practical things that have truly helped me, not big dramatic changes, but small intentional habits that made a real difference. First, set boundaries that protect your priorities. One thing I started doing is blocking important school days on my work calendar, just like I would do for a critical meeting. Whether it's a parent teacher meeting, a school performance, or just exam prep days, I block that time out. It helps me stay mentally present and it also sends a clear message to my team this time matters. Second, communicate your needs early and clearly. So don't wait up until you're overwhelmed. Have open conversation with your manager and HR and let them know you are managing. It could be something as simple as I'm juggling a little bit this month at home. Could you revisit on my deliverables? You'll be surprised how much support show up when you ask. Third, build your support system. Whether it's a parenting group at work, a colleague who's been through same, or even just a WhatsApp check-in group, having people to talk to makes a big difference. And at home too, ask for help. You don't need to carry it all alone. These aren't fancy solutions. They're real, everyday strategies that create space for both your personal and professional roles. Because sometimes it's not about having it all, it's about protecting what matters and being fully present when it counts. Let's be honest, this journey isn't always smooth. Whether you're planning to start a family or already navigating it, challenges show up. And many of us are emotional, many of them are emotional, not just logistical. One of the biggest ones I personally felt and seen in many others is guilt. You feel guilty for not doing enough at home, and then you feel guilty for stepping away from work, and then the pressure builds silently. Then there's a fear of perception that you'll be seen as less committed or less ambitious, or if you ask for flexibility or say no to something. And on top of that, not all workplaces have systems that truly support these life transitions. Systematic gaps are real. That's why planning ahead really helps. Not because it guarantees a perfect experience, but because it gives you clarity, confidence, and a sense of control. One framework I found helpful both personally and guiding others is the 3C planning framework. First is clarity. Get really clear on what you want. What are your non negotiables at home and at work? What does success look like in both spaces, at least for the near term? Communication. Once you know what you want, the next step is sharing it. Talk to your partner, talk to your manager, talk to HR, share your expectations and your limitations. People can't support you if they don't know what's going on. Compromise. And finally, let's be real. There will be trade offs. Some days you will need to give more to one side and less to the other. That's not a failure, it's life. Accepting that early on helps you navigate with less stress and more flexibility. This framework isn't about getting everything right, it's about being intentional because when you plan for the emotional and practical challenges ahead, you don't just survive the transition, you grow through it. This one for those who are not parents yet, but they're thinking about it in the near future. And I'll say this from experience. The earlier you start reflecting and asking questions, the smoother your journey will be. We often assume we'll figure it out when time comes. But family building is a big transition, and like any other big life decisions, a little foresight goes a long way. Start with some honest reflections. Ask yourself, what kind of work setup would I need or would I want during pregnancy or early parenting? What would flexibility or support look like for me? And does my workplace offer it? And most importantly, what value do I want to hold on during this change? Is it stability? Is it presence? Or is it growth? Once you have some clarity, I would encourage you to initiate conversations early, especially with HR. I know sometimes people hesitate, thinking it might make them seem less committed or personal. But from the HR side, I can tell you it's the opposite. When you open up early, it allows HR and your manager to plan with you, to support you better, and to even make space for your growth, not just for your leap. And for those those of us in HR, we need to remember it's our job to create a safe space for these conversations, because when people feel supported in these personal transitions, they don't just stay in the organization, they stay engaged, loyal, and motivated, and that's a win for everyone. Before we wrap this up, I want to leave you with something simple but powerful. Let's not just take in any ideas today. Let's turn them into small, intentional actions. I invite you to take just 5 minutes and think about this. What's one professional goal you want to focus on this year? What's one family or personal goal that matters to you? Is there one habit or a boundary you could try this week? Something small like protecting one evening, switching off notifications for an hour. And finally, who do you need to ask for support, talk to for support? Your partner, your manager, or your HR team. Write it down, even one sentence. This isn't about having it all figured out. It's all about starting with clarity and intention. Because when you are clear on what you need and who you can lean on, you give yourself the best chance to show up fully both in work and life. As we come to end of this conversation, I want to leave you with just a few key takeaways, things I hope will stay with you long after this session. First, balance isn't perfect formula. It's not about equal time every day. It is flexible living system that shifts with your priorities, your energy, your season of life, and that's okay. Second, HR isn't about policies. We can be real partners in helping you navigate work and family goals, whether it's a conversation, resources, or just being sounding board. We are here and we want to support you. And third, don't wait. There is no perfect time to figure this out. Start now, reflect on your needs, have those important conversations, and start shaping a system that works for you. Because work and family don't have to compete. When you design your life with intention, they can complement each other beautifully. Thank you.